Hi guys, Redneck Computer Geek here. So, the YouTube channel RCG Racing has been growing, and with growth comes the comment section. Things like, do you think a plastic connecting rod in something like this is doable? We just addressed this one over on Redneck Computer Geek. But, in the racing side of things, when you have a 30 series torque converter, you max it out really quick. It's about 60 bucks. And when you have one of these engines, by the time you hit a little bit more than a Mod 2, you're already at the horsepower recommended maximum for a 30 series. So then you spend $100 on a Juggernaut, and then you follow that up with having to buy the tuning kit from basically only one option. And at that point, you're $200+ into it. And thus we have the 40 series torque converter from AliExpress, which is interesting because it literally has the exact same picture that every one of these torque converters has. This was $100. And I too have the question of why do people not just buy this, which is rated for like 15 horsepower, bolt it to one of these, and be off and running? Is it just that the bolt pattern doesn't match? Is that nobody makes an adapter for it? Is it that it's just so big that it doesn't fit in the mini bike housing? I mean, the first thing in this box is the cover. So if we grab that plate and we stick it in that cover, yeah, that's a pretty decent size difference right there. Now, I've never worked with a 40 series. This is my first one, and of course I bought the cheapest, crummiest one I possibly could off of AliExpress, because if I'm going to torture myself, I might as well do it correctly. There's the belt. So, this is interesting. This brand, Yamang whatever, I actually recognize. This is the same brand that makes the belt that comes with the Vevor 30 series that you buy off of Amazon. This will probably end up in the trash really quickly. Yeah. I know that brand. I've worked with it in the past. So let's see if we can pull things out of here. Now, what everybody says is, why don't you just buy a 3/4 inch adapter, and why don't you just put the 40 series on there, and then you don't have to worry about how much horsepower you make, basically. Or at least that's the theory. Alright. Well, that is a significant difference. Oh yeah. Somebody ate their meat and potatoes for that one. Which means this must be the other end of the equation. Yep. We'll just start hum-chucking boxes everywhere around me. There we go. There's that. Versus the standard Vevor adapter. Actually, I think this one is a Bravex. I've run both the Vevors and the Bravex, and the Bravex I actually found was better than the Vevor. Just in case you're buying one. I'll post a link down below for the two so that you can see. It's about a $10 difference. I'll also post a link to the 30 series belts that actually worked, unlike the Vevor belt that we fried just the first attempt at drag racing. Well, I think our first problem is I'm going to have to order up a second one of those adapters to make an adapter that's actually long enough to do this. Because this is a stock GX200. This is a 30 which already extends out past the stock shaft compared to the 40. The other thing is, this is only about yay big, and the key is integrated. So I'd have to cut it off, and then, I don't know. So here's what I'm debating. I think that what we do is we get another one of these keys, we put it on the end of one of these, and we weld it together, but we weld it with this key 180 degrees out of sync. So then you could have this key ground down to lock in. Whoop, where'd it go? There it is. You could have this key ground down to lock it in while having the other side sticking out like that. And then you cut that open. But then you'd have to get in here with some sort of Dremel and take off, I don't know, probably 50% of that. So that might explain the why nobody has done it on YouTube section. The other thing is, at the end of the day, weight is a big thing. And this is one kill somebody size chunk of steel. This is not stamped by any means. There are a lot of ads on Amazon that say it is stamped. Yes, it does have a couple of press points, but that is not thin by any means. So let's figure out some weight. Now, I don't have a juggernaut here to throw on right now, but a juggernaut is basically 3 pounds if I remember right. So if we grab this and we throw this on, and then we stick this basically on top of it, plus or minus a couple of pounds for a juggernaut, basically 10 pounds plus 2 to 3. So we're in the ballpark of 12 pounds. All right, let's nicely set this aside without dropping it on the floor. Also, look at that bolt pattern versus, yeah. That one lines up. Interesting. Okay. All right. Now, let's get this back to 0. Cool. This, I bet, literally weighs more than the entire 30 series. That's how heavy this is. Oh, God. Yeah, that's 16 pounds by itself. Okay. Rather than trying to balance this on there, so we got 16 pounds by itself, plus I'm betting another 3, 4. Oh, apparently I don't know my own strength. 22. So, even if a juggernaut was like 5 pounds added onto there, that is still easily 10 to 12 pounds lighter of an assembly. So in racing, weight matters. We figured out on the mini bike drag racing that just dropping about 20 pounds off of the bike was good for a half a second in the 8th mile. So that is a quarter second worth of weight added to drag racing. That's a trade-off. Not quite sure what I think about that. Now, the next thing is, here's your standard side for... This is for a GX 160, but they use the same exact bolt setup or whatever. So if I bring this around, maybe if I float this off the side of the table on my knee. Let's see here. Yeah. I don't think that is lining up anytime soon. Let me see.
No, that is just plain totally different sizing. So the only way that's going to work is if you drill holes, and I bet the holes are probably going to line up right with this reinforcement. That's what I'm betting. This is my bolt pattern template that I made when we made a vertical shaft Predator 212 over on Redneck Computer Geek last winter. And as you can see, it centers in order to drill the bolt holes for mounting the Predator vertically. And those holes are way out there. And yes, it is lining up, ironically, right in that. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to work on the idea of measuring out what these are versus this perfect center versus this hole pattern. And I'm going to create a 3D punch template that we can throw in there and go from there. That's where I'm at right now on this. You guys have asked whether I could make it so it worked and whether I could post it up. So this is what we're going to try to do. Now, the next problem is going to be whether we can actually fit it in the mini bike. And that's got its own quibbles, because if I take this and I put it here, that has to go up at a weird cockeyed angle. And the bottom tab, I think, actually is under the height of the engine. So that's not cool either. I don't know. Here's my winter experiment to see if we can get it popped onto one of these engines. Have a good day, guys. Leave me a comment down below. Do you think this is doable? Do you think the extra 10 pounds is worth it? Not worth it? Do you think it's cost effective? Have fun, and thank you for watching.